Caleb Wilson spoke with North Carolina media after the blue-white scrimmage, and you were in attendance, not for this actual clip in the hallway, because as you put it, only one person was credentialed for the North Carolina blue-white scrimmage. So I don't know, maybe it was Noah Weisskopf who tweeted out the clip of this covering North Carolina for Heel 24/7, part of 24/7 Sports. So shout out to Noah, shout out to 24/7 for this. But as I mentioned, you got to watch your team and your freshman superstar. After the scrimmage, this is what Caleb Wilson had to say about his team. He said, quote, "Once it all comes together, we're going to be the best team in the country." End quote. You watched the scrimmage, Riley. Did you see a team that could be the best team in the country?
I did not, Greg, but that doesn't mean I don't support my freshman sensation saying it.
Elaborate, please.
I love Caleb Wilson so much. This dude has the charisma, he has the leadership chops, he has the personality that I think Carolina has lacked really. I guess it was just last year since Armando Bacot and Harrison Ingram left. Like those dudes carried themselves the same way, but I think Caleb is a little more bombastic. I think some of that is that freshman arrogance where it's like he's just enjoying the experience. He is happy to be on this team. He's happy to be playing for a blue blood with the tradition that a program like Carolina has, and he's just got a magnetic personality. I'm totally about the confidence. I said this when we did the video reacting to him saying sparkled, bedazzled, real belt. I want him talking all that smack. I don't care if it gets bookmarked. I don't care if it gets shoved in my face. If Duke or NC State beats Carolina, I will deal with that when it comes. You cannot break me. I watched my team get down 20 to every top 30 team last year. I've been through that. I watched us go 14-20 on a 6-hour time delay when I was living in Czech Republic when the whole roster was injured and KJ Smith was our starting point guard. I've been through some things. I can handle it if this comes back to bite Caleb Wilson. I like the swagger. I need it back. I'm glad we have someone saying this type of stuff. Even if I don't believe it, I stand with you, Caleb Wilson.
Man, I did not expect this type of. I didn't expect you to not endorse this, but I did not expect. I've been through some shit. I'll be ready if this comes back to haunt me. That's just awesome. I love it. All right, couple follow-ups for me because look, my only 2 cents before the follow-ups is this: Caleb Wilson's a funny dude. He's been a fun player to follow every step of the way since long before he committed to North Carolina. This was the kid who was actively trolling multiple fan bases before announcing who his finalists were. He was like actively trying to confuse Kentucky fans for like 6 months, leaving breadcrumb trails, it felt like. So, look, I enjoy watching, paying attention to, and covering Caleb Wilson. That's without me saying I'm rooting for Caleb Wilson, but I just find him fun. And I think we need more characters like this in college basketball. So he has my full attention. Honestly, if I were to flip this, I don't know if I would like rooting for a Caleb Wilson team. And I think you definitely should right now when you haven't played real competition and this is all hunky dory. Like if you have a bubble team and Caleb Wilson is still doing this brash confidence shit, I'll be curious if you still enjoy it as much as you enjoy this. But you don't go into a season thinking that way. So for now, the supreme confidence act of Caleb Wilson is fun and good, and we all enjoy it. Couple follow-ups from me. If Cam Boozer said this, what is your reaction?
I probably am like, yeah, I see where Cam is coming from. I'm probably bookmarking it and ready to retweet it if Duke stumbles out of the gates, though.
But so part of that, like why you could tolerate a response like that is because you can see it.
Yeah, like I think Duke has really good wing depth. I think Gongba, I've been a critic of his. Maybe I feel like a critic is too strong of a word. I've been a skeptic, just that he could step right into a 25-minute per game role and have some of the same efficiency that we saw down the stretch last year. Like I think they have question marks, but when you look at the fact that they're bringing two guys like Nick Kaminia and Sebastian, well, let's say two of like Nick Kaminia, Sebastian Wilkins, Dame Sarr will like come off the bench. That's a loaded group that they have at the 2 through 4, which I think can compensate for some of their other positions. And yeah, like there's just a ton of talent, a ton of link to where it could coalesce and they could be among the best, if not the best team in the country with a couple breaks.
Dion, how's your job going?
Beginning of the school year, everything's like a little up and down. One of the biggest issues we've had is we can't find any uniforms for our girls' sports teams.
Mm, that's a difficult thing to find a solution for. I know damn well all about that because I got a daughter that just turned 2. She's into sports and she's already outgrowing every little piece of sports apparel she had. Thankfully, I know Clara Kate Creations. Clara Kate Creations was started by a former high school teacher who quit because it wasn't cost effective to send new twins and a 2-year-old to daycare. She found it easier to make girl sports apparel than finding it to buy. And I am so thankful that she exists because if we have an old shirt of Murph's that she's outgrown, we can send it in and she takes that piece of apparel that means something and upcycles it into an outfit that Murphy can now wear as she grows up. She makes great stuff. It's honestly kind of like your fullback's wife, Kyle Juszczyk. Is that how you say it? She does that. But honestly, I think Clara Kate's coming for Mrs. Juszczyk's job.
I love that. I'm a big Juice guy. Love his wife. Love Claire Kate even more than both of them, though.
You can send in your own custom ideas and she will come up with a design. She's just the best. Look up Clara Kate Creations on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and more. Sure.
I think
Okay.
UNC has a lot more question marks that would have to break their way to be the best team in the country.
I think you and I feel similarly about Carolina, the caliber of this team coming to the season. We have them like in the 20s preseason. Is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
Can we look at a team that was in the 20s last season?
Please do.
Okay, so just like similar caliber team. A team that finished last season 24th in the country per Ken Palm versus that's around where we have Carolina this year. Kansas last year finished 24th in the country on Ken Palm. If Hunter Dickinson had said, I think we're the best team in the country, what would your reaction have been after watching that Kansas team a little bit?
You mean like going into last season?
No, like after we knew they were the 24th best team in the country and not the preseason number 1. Like you're on the 24th best team in the country and you're saying I think we're the best team in the country.
I would probably roll my eyes, especially because it's Hunter Dickinson.
Okay. So do you think that like is that an appropriate response from me and non-North Carolina fans here of like really, Caleb? Like really?
Were you hoping I would say that about if Cam Boozer said this?
Yeah, but then you kind of gave an earnest answer. It's like, well, Duke's actually really good. So
Well, yeah, okay. On one hand, I see where you could be coming from if it was someone like Hunter, but what if someone like Caleb Wilson, who's just like a joyful dude?
really?
Yeah,
They're the
like
same. They're
no, they're
exactly
not
the
the
same,
same.
except one of them hasn't played in college yet.
Hunter Dickinson was saying this when he was like 24. You can let it slide when it's a dude who's 18 who's just
They're
like
both
excited.
just nonsensical trolls who have fun, and I'm not defending Hunter, but like if you don't see Hunter Dickinson like tendencies from Caleb Wilson coming into this, like I think you got the wrong scout on personality traits.
Nah, dude. I maybe if you squint, but I just think Caleb just comes across as more fun in general.
It's just fun to be like, yeah, we're the best team in the country.
Yeah, it's all fun.
Oh my
It's just basketball. What's LeBron say? It's just basketball.
All right, second follow up, and this one I think is more serious and intriguing to me. Seth Trimble. He's a senior, right?
Mm-hmm.
Program guy. Played 3 years at Carolina now, won a lot of games, lost a couple games, maybe a few games. Been through a lot. A lot of talent has been alongside Seth Trimble. If we ask Seth Trimble to rank the caliber of the teams that he has been on in his 4 years at Carolina, including this year's team, what would his answer be?
I mean, it's easy to say right now because this team hasn't played a game yet, but I think this has to be number 2 after the one that got a 1 seed in 2024.
I mean, he's played on one team in 3 years that has been worthy of the quote unquote best team in the country mantra, right? It was 2 years ago with Harrison Ingram. You could say that team was the best team in the country. I don't think anybody would fight you that much.
There were stretches where they looked like the best team in the country, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that like if that team had been like, I think we're the best team in the country, we all would have been like, yeah, probably. Sure, whatever.
Harrison Ingram did say that after the Tennessee game where Carolina put up like 60 in the first half.
Yeah. So you think Seth would comfortably say this year's roster is better than the other two with Baycott and RJ and
Though, so better than last year, I think he would. Probably part of it's because he's like, yeah, I'm a starter. Of course, it's better. But
that's a fair view, yeah.
I mean, his freshman year, we didn't make the tournament. I don't understand. Like, I would hope if this roster is not better than the one with Pete Nance, like we're in some trouble.
That team is one of the only two teams that did have a number 1 next to their name at one point in Seth's career.
It's true. Didn't last long, but they did. They
In
were
fact,
number
a
one
lot of
for a
people thought
period.
that team was the preseason best team in the country, didn't they? Wow.
It's a tough time to look back at, Greg. I was so convinced that team was going to be goated. This was back when we were doing Spotify green rooms, and you were like, man, you got a long history of being a thorn in my side, G. You
I
were
made shirts that said Star Heels. No one wanted them.
there's one at a Plato's Closet in Durham right now, probably
Probably
that I
so.
donated.
Probably so. What will be the moment this year where it's officially we can laugh at this? Or will
uh,
there not be one? Will they get to the end of the year and we're like, damn, that was very prescient. He knew. Prescient.
there's a chance that they lose to Kentucky by 20 in Rupp, and this will probably resurface because remember, Caleb Wilson was between UNC and Kentucky and acted like he was going to Kentucky for a good 3 months.
Yeah, he trolled
So
Kentucky fans actively. Yeah.
that's probably the first time this comes up. If they get swept by Duke, it probably comes up. If they lose at NC State, it probably comes up.
Is Caleb
Caleb,
Wilson number 9? What number does he wear?
he's number 8.
Number 8. Okay. I was going to say, you could take everything he does as a Kentucky troll still. He's wearing the number of championships Kentucky's program has won. Might still be doing that, honestly. All right. Thank you, Caleb. Endless entertainment.